And welcome back to Knits and Bolts Costume Design. And if you're new here, I'm Rebecca. And our video this week is going to be diving into the World War II Sewing Challenge. So come on, let's see how it comes out. The challenge was created by Melissa from Sew Biased, Ayana from the Vintage Guidebook, and Lindsey from Thistle and Stitches. The challenge began Veterans Day, November 11th, 2021, and went to VE Day, May 8th, 2022. The challenge was to make a garment that meets the rationing rules of World War II in any era, any style, and any skill level. The United States entered World War II following the Japanese bombing of Pearl Harbor. Rationing involves setting limits on high-demand items. Rationing began in the United States in January 1942 with tires. Sugar and gasoline followed in May of 1942. Coffee followed in November of 1942. Meats, fats, canned fish, cheese, and canned milk followed in March of 1943. Newspapers, home economics classes, and government organizations such as the Office of the Price Administration, the War Production Board, and the Department of Agriculture offered all sorts of tips to help families stretch their ration points. Tips included planting victory gardens and canning your own vegetables, doing and mending your own clothing, and knitting. Eleanor Roosevelt had a habit of knitting in public. She often knitted sweaters for soldiers. She earned the title of First Knitter. Rationing even affected the purchase of clothing. Rationing of clothing began in 1941 in the United States and did not end until approximately 1947. The War Production Board's restrictions were unveiled to the fashion industry on February 17th of 1942. The U.S. government harnessed propaganda resources to persuade families that clothing conservation was a way to contribute and their patriotic duty to use the old, to sew or knit their own clothing. Companies that could benefit from sewing, knitting, and mending were quick to endorse the tie between sewing at home and winning the war. The Spool Cotton Company, maker of the thread sold under J.P. Coates' brand name, ran ads urging, "Come on, take those knockabouts and turn them into knockouts. Keep the glit in Uncle Sam's eyes and do your stint towards victory." The challenge for me was to make do and mend, to make this skirt fit me. Okay, when I bought this skirt, I knew it was way too long for me. And I knew it was way too small in the waist for me. But that allows me to alter this still to fit me and still have a very, very beautiful skirt. So that's, in order to do that, we got to take off the closures and off the button and the waistband. And when we come back, I'll show what we're doing next. So for my skirt, to make the alterations to make it fit to the length I want, I've taken my tape measure and I've laid it along the edge. So my skirt was folded in half, and then I folded it in half again to make quarters. So I like my skirt length to be 27 inches. So I measured this out and marked here, and then I marked on that side, and then measured the distance from where the length I wanted up to the top, and where the original waistband used to be, and that gave me 7 inches from that 7-inch mark. I just marked that all the way around. So I will cut this off, and then I will use this portion to create the correct length of waistband. If there's enough left over, I'll even make pockets out of it. So let's get that done. So what skirt would be complete without any pockets? So my skirt, I added pockets using fabric from my Cabbage Patch. So I created the pockets. I faced them with scraps of the skirt left over. I'm going to get those finished sewed in, and those will be ready to go. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to get a new spool. Thread chicken one out. Alright, I have the zipper sewn in, and so that's back in place. The next step will be to getting the waistband on. Now with my waistband I had to piece it together because it wasn't like one strip of fabric that I could complete to make a waistband. So I cut all the pieces out to the width I needed and then sewed them together. I ironed that flat. I used a piece of cotton duck to stabilize the waistband because the interfacing that was in this skirt very flimsy and soft. So I put this cotton duck in to make it more stable, and then on the next step we'll be getting that onto the skirt itself, and my skirt will be finished up. Got my waistband on, got my closure hook and bars on, has some fantastic pockets. It's all done.